Good morning. Welcome back. Time now is 10 minutes past 7 a.m. We want to do this very quickly. And you know how we always do it. Wilson Sosion, former Secgen of NAT and a former nominated lawmaker, is here in studio. Mheshimiwa, good morning.
Good morning.
Karibu sana. It's been a while.
Yes.
Thank you.
A proper sabbatical.
Yes.
Yeah.
And next to him is Professor Emmanuel Mutisia, who is an educationist and development expert, also with us here. Prof, you are good?
Safi kabisa. Good morning.
Asante sana. You had a very busy day the other day in Konza.
Yes, we hosted the president down there on a development tour, which went very well. I think for the first time people are now getting to know the amount of work that has been done in Konza over the last several years. And we are celebrating that.
Okay. You'll tell us more about that and what are some of the goodies you can share with us that were left in Konza. Ambassador Dr. Richard Bosire, who is a lecturer at the University of Nairobi. He's a lecturer of political science and he also the UASU chair Nairobi chapter. Ambassador, Dr. good morning.
Morning, morning, Victor.
You look so sad next to Sosion. Are you okay?
I am okay. I'm okay.
Okay.
I thought I'm going to benefit.
Shift you come this side and
you will benefit immensely.
And Omwami Wafula Butacho, he's a political analyst and he has got so many hats. Some of them I don't want to mention here at in the station, but he's also for the Kenya chairperson, Trans Nzoia County, also with us here. I have four great minds in studio. Gentlemen, let's start where we should, starting with the front page of the Daily Nation. Killer linked to State House. The gentleman in question here was arraigned yesterday and he is police custody for the next 14 days. And the Daily Nation says that the slain GSU officer, Ramadan Matanka, was the son of former State House employee. He first worked at the State House residence after completing high school in 2019 during a cleanup campaign where he met and befriended this gentleman called Kithuku Kimunyi. Later, he joined the elite squad guarding the premise where his life was cut short. So, well, somebody can say that, according to them, that they knew each other. President William Ruto was yesterday at the Eldoret Airbase to mark the KDF Day. Most popular senior school pathway, again, Sosion will have to tell us here, most popular senior school pathway, science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. Basically, STEM is the most popular pathway among grade 9 learners, with some 569,000 students have opted to study STEM in senior school. Another 437,000 have chosen social sciences and some 121,000 students want to specialize in arts and sports. That is according to just a quick summary. There was some fireworks yesterday in Parliament, the Committee of Health, where CS Duale went head-to-head with the Member of Parliament, Anthony Kimagendi, and it was not so good over there. Let me come back to the front page of the Star. Rifts emerge as Gachagua battles for Mount Kenya grip. Okay. Growing list of rivals exposes deep fissures in the region. All right. So Ruto dons military fatigue in honor of Kenya defenders. That is the KDF. He was in Eldoret yesterday. MPs lay bare Shah flaws as CS Duale defense program. Yesterday it was there, and that's on the front page of the Star newspaper, but that is also on the main read of the Standard. Duale, bully in chief. That is the two gentlemen. We have CS Duale and Mheshimiwa Member of Parliament Kibagendi there, and say that tempers flared in Parliament as Health Cabinet Secretary Aden Duale clashed with MPs during a stormy Health Committee session, trading insults and accusations of intimidation. The dramatic exchange, which saw lawmakers walk out in protest, laid bare deep tensions over the troubled Social Health Authority, with MPs accusing the minister of arrogance and contempt, while he dismissed them as, quote-unquote, junior members unfit to question him. Should it be so? Sosion, junior members. If you're a member of Parliament, you're a member of Parliament.
I think Parliament has to reorganize itself, particularly the Committee of Health, together with its client, so that we have a dignified session where matters affecting Kenyans are prosecuted in a manner that is accountable to the people of Kenya. What happened in the committee session, I don't think has happened in the committees of parliament in many years, where a member actually gets completely out of order and it regresses into a shouting altercation.
Yeah.
And that actually removed everything from the substratum of auditing the SHA program, a major flagship and a major undertaking that any government is doing in the world at the moment to roll out universal health coverage for all citizens. It's a major undertaking. It is not worth the shouting exchanges that we saw yesterday, and therefore there is some homework to be done.
Okay.
And the same session repeated the issues raised by members of parliament be responded to, and we have, because the committee of the House raised, I think, about 19 issues in fixing SHA. They are doing so on behalf of the people. The executive, through the Cabinet Secretary for Health, should be able to respond to all those issues. And if the CS rightly stated that he was getting the issues for the first time in that session, it is only reasonable, it is given time to go and prepare responses on the same.
Okay.
The standard procedure of Parliament is that when you are summoned to the House as a Cabinet Secretary, you are summoned in writing and question placed before you.
Correct.
And then you prepare your report. That is done in writing. You cannot be summoned and then ambushed with new information. That is not how Parliament works. It is going to be wastage of the opportunities and time of Parliament. So the new information that was placed before the Cabinet Secretary should be given time to go and prepare for appropriate written response that he will be able to present, to submit even to Parliament in advance before he appears. And then he can defend it orally. I think there was a lapse in the process of doing things. And that lapse in the process of conducting business of the committee resulted in this altercation.
Let's give context.
So Parliament must reorganize itself.
Thank you. Let's give context
and
to what
the Cabinet Secretary should go back again.
Let's give context
and
to what
respond
happened.
to the questions.
Let's give context to what happened yesterday. At least you can have a background. Director, we give that.
Let it be
as we are sitting here, nobody can intimidate me.
Minister, proceed.
Nobody can intimidate me. Whether you are a first timer or a second timer or a third timer. I am a ranking member, emeritus. My kids are not. My kids are not.
And we will not. You are a hostile witness.
My kids.
We will not allow you to continue intimidating this committee.
It was a stormy exchange at the National Assembly's Departmental Committee on Health that lasted for more than 5 minutes.
I will not allow you to extort and blackmail the Minister of Health.
Who is extorting you?
You are extorting the Minister of Health.
Who is extorting you?
Health Cabinet Secretary Aden Duale and Kitutu Churches South Member of Parliament Anthony Kibagende traded insults and accusation over the running of the Social Health Authority SHA.
We will not allow you. You are bitter, but we will close your hospitals.
I don't own a hospital anywhere.
You are bitter,
that is the strategy we are trying to use.
We will
to silence us.
You close the hospital. We will close the hospitals. Close them. Nobody can bully me, particularly when you are conflicted, when you have facilities.
Point of order,
and some of the
Chair.
members of this committee have facilities.
Point of
if
order,
you want me to name them, I will name them and I will give it to you.
Point of
and
order,
they should not be
Chair.
this committee.
To demonstrate to me which hospitals I own. He can bring out the CR12. He can even take photos of those particular hospitals and show Kenyans.
In the heat of the moment, the CS resorted to accusing Kibagende of operating 2 health facilities that were closed by the ministry in the soup on fraudulent SHA claims.
And we'll write to the speaker.
You write to the...
We will write to the speaker.
Produce evidence
that
on
our
hospital.
facilities.
You are the one who
sit
sit
in the
this
committee.
ministry.
But even after Kibagendi was thrown out of the committee session, another war of words ensued between the CS and Nandi woman representative Cynthia Chepkosgei.
It's my business as a public servant.
Point of order.
And the member for Chair, the member for Nandi cannot intimidate me. Another time.
Honorable Chair, he needs to make a decision whether he wants to come back to this house or serve this nation as an executive member. It is a choice he needs to make.
I can go back to Garissa Township and win.
Waziri,
I won't tell the member from Nandi.
you are going out of order.
I can win and
it
come
is
back
me
here.
who is making decisions.
Yeah.
Proceed.
The CS was at pains to explain erroneous payments, lack of transparency in payments, system failures as much as 4 times in a month, weak communication, biased patient referrals, inadequate training leading to inefficiency in claims approvals, and marginalization of teenage mothers under Shah.
The condescending attitude of the CS toward this committee is properly noted.
We've had a lot of people in facilities who are actually not quite sure how the system works.
We can't continue hiding on chapter what and act what because Kenyans are dying.
From these observations, it means there is a problem. Things are not working well.
The committee chair, Dr. James Nyikal, took issue with the erroneous payment of 16 million shillings to a facility in Nyeri County that was meant for the county referral hospital.
I mean, for me to be the Minister for Health is not life and death.
There is a high rate of claims rejection, even in cases where health facilities had provided adequate supporting.
The MPs blamed unskilled Shah officials for the frequent system failures that bogged down...
Right. There we go. It was heated. Yeah. Dr.
Yes,
we are in a world of... whether it's just general anger in the country, from leaders to wananchi to seeing such... Some would argue that we did not get a substantive report from the committee yesterday.
Victor, it is so disappointing, to say the least, that Duale, the CS, could actually not listen. And for me, it sends a very strong message to the public that government is not listening, because he was there representing the executive. And the legislators who are acting on behalf of the people are asking questions that are in the public domain. If someone wants to say Duale should have been given a list of issues, all these issues are in the public domain, and he has dealt with them in the public domain. And I think Parliament sends an invitation with the issues to be handled. It cannot be like it's a phone call, come to Parliament. And therefore, what I see is that Duale disrespected the House of Representatives. These are representatives of the people. And in that respect also disrespects the public who they are representing. And because issues have to be prosecuted in the committee so that members of the public receive justice. The issues of Shah not working are not new in this country. People have raised these issues, Victor, over and over. I don't know if there is a deliberate attempt to undermine the authority and legitimacy of institutions that are the 3 institutions of government that are supposed to provide the checks and balances in our governance system. Because this is Parliament and the other side is the executive. And the executive seems to be loading, really disrespecting the Parliament. How do we must have a line between the two. So what I'm saying, Victor, in a nutshell, is that should not happen. That should not have happened and should not continue to happen in our country. One thing I want to mention also, there are many issues on this Shah issue. Duale closed some hospitals. I'll give you examples, institutional hospitals, and I want to thank institutions, churches, that have come up with institutions, healthcare institutions, hospitals, dispensaries, to help actually complement the poor health services we receive in public institutions, public hospitals. And they should be lauded about that. Duale closed Mumias, that they had already paid them. Later on, they backtracked when the bishop said this is a lie, and then they reopened and said, oh, then we paid. Then they paid the right amounts that were required. Nyanjwa Hospital was closed. It belongs to Seventh-day Adventist Church. And they have not reopened yet. If they have reopened, it's just the other day. But you see, even the process of doing his work is erroneous. You cannot close a hospital that provides services to the local communities and then go to investigate and to charge them. Can't you do your own investigation? We have investigative agencies in the country, and then when they're culpable, pick those people who bear the greatest responsibility and charge them in court, because you can't charge a hospital in court or a church or an institution that runs the hospital. It is the people who have committed crimes. It was the wrong approach. It has caused tremendous suffering to the people of this country, and he has to answer such questions in Parliament, and he should be humble. He should humble himself and be able to deal with issues rather than being so personal and attacking people and saying, oh, you are conflicted, you are this. That's not why he went to the House. He went to the House to answer specific questions. Kenyans are suffering. Healthcare system has collapsed.
Okay. Wafula, why is the SHA, the whole of this SHA story so sensitive? Everybody is trying to bring the other story about SHA, compare it with the, NHIF and all that. But why is it so sensitive to every Kenyan as we speak?
Victor, before I respond on that, I also want to put my small input on the accusation yesterday in Parliament with Honorable Duale.
Yes.
For quite some time, I've respected Mheshimiwa Duale for so many years. But yesterday, he bungled it out from me. No. That is not the way a cabinet secretary should respond to questions. And I thought Mheshimiwa Sosion could stand with the Duale. But I'm surprised he has jumped the fence, because this issue is serious. And I want to congratulate you, Mheshimiwa. This one, we must call it a spade. Duale bungled it out completely. I want to give an echo to those two ladies who have been there before. They used to come to the House and respond positively. Questions, the way Mheshimiwa said, the committee present questions earlier to the CS. CS has panels of his people to go through, make a report, and bring it to the House. It was not abrupt. It was not abrupt, Mheshimiwa. The way he said, it was not abrupt. Duale had all these questions. The only thing, maybe, because sometimes money makes somebody becomes rude. He has made good money, maybe. That is why he's rude to even Mheshimiwa Kibagendi. Even if you have been in the House for more than 20 years or so, 22 years, you don't bully the correct institution of oversight, like that Committee for Health in the Parliament. No. Duale, that one, I think if the president is trying to build the SHA issue, one is trying to pull him down, and that is Duale in this case. Because the questions, imagine, Victor, over the weekend, not over the weekend, it was on Monday. I talked to you, I was in Bungoma. I took a little move in the hospital of referral, Bungoma, and I saw around 85% people who are discharged with the SHA payments. Over 85. And I took some little time to discuss with the MedSup. He told me that now we are having now a crisis in the hospital, because we discharge so many people, over 85%, with the SHA payment, and the remittance is very small. And sometimes
they discharge people after paying or without paying? Now,
with the SHA, when you are registered with the SHA, you present the SHA, whatever they check in the system, and then they account you for the SHA to pay for you. Actually, the model is good for SHA, is good, and if we can work it positively, the system can be much better. But now you see this hospital is receiving like around 2 million per month. Yet they have discharged patients for more than 40 million. 40 million. Now, where is this other 40 million?
How do they land those? How do they
now,
land?
this hospital needs to pay the services, need to pay the suppliers, the salaries, and so forth. Now, people are making the problem. I also visited Mama Margaret Wood Hospital, and I discussed with the CEO. He said that now we are waiting for SHA to pay so that we can also purchase drugs and all this, what the hospital needs. Now there is a problem here. Duale could have taken questions correctly and explained to Kenyans, because Kenyans are dying. This is not a small ministry like that one of roads that you can put some patches in the road and people pass. No, this one goes with health. And health is key.
And I think
it's the life of the people.
Because we are talking about health, I think it is also healthy for us to take a break.
But this issue, Victor, is serious, and I want to caution Duale should go to Parliament once again and respond those questions and make a good apology to the Parliament, and also ask the Speaker at least to bring this matter to plenary in the Parliament.
People of Kenya deserve to get some answers, not even Parliament. All right, let's take a break. It's a healthy one. Oh my goodness. We'll be right back. Stay with us. No, okay. I said health matter is it's quite controversial. Prof, please help us. Good morning.
Morning.
You have your cup of coffee, all of us. We have our cups of coffee. Gentlemen, welcome to the program.
Thank you very much.
Let's do this.
Let me test.
Okay, so I wanted to do this very fast, and then I want to talk to the matter about education, because this is now cutting across the country and we have to discuss about it. But then now, when we talk about SHA, we've talked about this for far too long, Prof. And I think it's just quite fair that Kenyans deserve to get some answers from the representatives. Duale is an individual who represents Kenyans, and Parliament are also representatives representing Kenyans. But when Kenyans are not getting the right information from the leaders that we have given that mandate, it is the grass that's going to suffer at the end of the day.
Thank you, Victor. I'm just going to take it up from my fellow panelists.
Yes.
But I'm going to say the following. Number one is that the CS is responsible to providing answers to questions that are being raised by all the Kenyans, including the representatives that we have in Parliament, who are representatives of the people. And that response process should be more dignified, more diplomatic, in a way that we give a proper representation of the kind of government that we have today. We saw, of course, what happened in Parliament yesterday. And it's important to look at both sides and say that, of course, the CS should have responded, properly to the questions that have been raised over and over again by Kenyans, and the questions that had been provided prior to his appearing in front of the Health Committee. And so the image that we saw yesterday of shouting, at one another, is not the image that we want to see as Kenyans from our leaders, who are supposed to ensure that we get what we deserve as Kenyans. But on the other side, we also need to look at the Parliament and the parliamentarians themselves and say that, when you get that level, I don't think there's anyone who is justified to wake up and also abuse a member of the executive. I don't think that is also good. It is important that if one side is doing things in the wrong way, please don't also bring yourself on the table and start sort of responding to issues in a way that does not give out the image that we require from our leaders. Because at the end of the day, if everybody shouts, you'd not be able to sort of identify who among the two is right and who among the two is wrong. Why am I saying this? It's because our processes in this country are very political. We politicize everything. So whoever supports the MP will, of course, clap hands when he makes noise in Parliament and calls an executive member, a thief, in that honorable house. But on the other side, I think it's important that if the CS finds it difficult to respond, it's far much better to just keep quiet and ask for a break and come back with answers to the questions that have been raised, or sent to him by Parliament. I did note what Sossion said, that some of the questions were raised on the floor. But really, I think all these arms of government, because they represent the people, should provide answers to everything that we ask, because we send them there to represent us. And therefore, I mean, both sides, I think, must look at ways of, behaving in a way that we, the citizens, would expect them to do. Number two, yes, it's about the SHA issue. I mean, we have seen all these, challenges out there that have been raised by people, and the challenges are there. I don't think the government has said that there are no challenges. It's only that it is taking too long for the government to address the challenges that have been raised by people. If SHA, we're talking about, pending bills, money that is not being paid. Of course, we have challenges with the coffers that we have in the government today. But when you go back to NHIF, the issues that we faced then might not be as glaring as they are as the ones that we are facing today. When we started this new process, the new system, of course, we are bound to get challenged along the way. But we shouldn't take years to address the gaps that have been raised by Kenyans over the last 2 years. I think we have taken too long to address that challenge. And it's important to note that health is a foundation for a good economy wherever you go. If you go to the US and all these other countries, you realize that it is that social health insurance system that drives the health of that economy. And for us, as Kenyans, what we should be asking the government to do is to ensure that whatever the government puts on the table for Kenyans works for all Kenyans, if we are to talk about socio-economic transformation of this country.
Okay. A quick solution, Sosion. I want us to close this chapter. Then now, at the end of the day, the president will have to answer to Kenyans at some point. And this has to come from the ministry that's charged, that's Ministry of Health. And the president must get a report that he will present to Kenyans at some point. How will it be that after 2 years or so, we still have challenges? How will this be?
We are clocking 1 year of the rollout of universal health coverage through the SHA arrangement. The primary healthcare facilities are working. The shift, yes, they are working and fully funded by government. And the shift model is also working. And for the first time, the treatment of critical illnesses, cancer, diabetes, are being addressed. The big challenge with the healthcare system in Kenya is the architecture of over-privatization and too much business interest and cartels that are complicating the rollout of SHA. And therefore, the Digital Health Act, which is meant to weed out all irregular claims. People are making money from public funds, from contributors' money. And this is where I give a lot of credit to Duale. Give him for that. He has been bold to deal with these cartels, the practitioners, the owners of health facilities who are making fraudulent claims. And SHA should not pay even a single cent. Where they're not
come
sure.
up again because
maybe
I didn't hear you well.
You're not an anchor.
Victor, you're not apportioning time.
Is it a point of information or a point of order?
I just wanted. I think I didn't hear you well. That Duale has done well.
Let me repeat. Okay. Let me repeat.
And kindly substantiate that point.
What Duale has done to deregister facilities that are involved in fraud is the right thing to do for this country. UHC is not going to be rolled out when we are massaging corruption cartels within the delivery system. And I say healthcare has been over-privatized in Kenya. And that is why it's becoming expensive to roll out UHC.
I don't understand
in
where
an ecosystem. To roll out UHC, it's my turn.
No, it's taken so long. Please speak.
Okay.
He's teaching us.
You're not the owner of the show. If you don't like what I'm saying, keep quiet. Wait for your time.
What's your point of order?
And the point I'm raising is that he keeps on telling us that this thing is working. Private sector in Mbaya. Remove all those private hospitals in Nairobi and tell us how our people will be treated. Even before independence, the mix, and there's no country in the world that depends only on public healthcare services. Whether it's France, there is public, there is private. People make choices. What Duale is supposed to do, or for me, how I will rate him, is not on the basis of how many clinics he has closed, how many hospitals he has closed.
I don't think I
will charge
Victor,
him on the basis
Victor,
of access to healthcare by the Kenyan people.
I don't think that is the information I needed. Go to Malaysia, a country that borrowed the model of their development. Kenya. All their hospitals, you don't pay even a single cent. Okay. Walk in, get treated, and you go home. Okay. And it's public. And so, what to do to deal with corruption head-on within the health sector is the right thing to do. And maybe that is why it's being vilified in that process in Parliament. No. And I would recommend this way. Can the Speaker now recall Duale, not to a committee, but to the full plenary of Parliament, so that then we deal with these issues clearly. Let us not lose what is good within the confusion that we have. Great. Let us know what is happening at the ministry. Why were these facilities deregistered? Why there are delays in remittances? And I think there is need to have the digital health system working so that there is prompt disbursement of money to facilities that are genuinely given out.
Do you have your coffee?
No.
Do you have your coffee? So, do you have your coffee there?
I do.
Thank you. Let's sip it.
And that's it.
Yeah, as we take that.
As you do that, I want to close this chapter.
Yes, and on the same issue, let me. I want to support Mheshimiwa Sosion on one thing, that Duale should be called into plenary in the House, at least to answer vividly the questions that were raised. And also, I want to differ with Mheshimiwa on one thing: closing down private entities.
Not private, closing down any facility involved in fraud.
No, you've said, Mheshimiwa have said that Duale has decided to closing down the private entities, facilities will improve like Malaysia. The way you've said that we will be like Malaysia. Anyway, but Malaysia did not borrow this system of SHA from Kenya. No. They have a different system. The only thing we need to go to Malaysia is to borrow their system. But here now, where the problem started in SHA, and let me be vividly clear here, is when they decided to lay off the workers of SHA. That is the number one. Number two, when they told the workers of SHA, who are collecting good amount of money, and I remember I used to go there to remit the payment for my workers. They were actually on my neck before they give me the compliance. But right now, those workers, because they were forced to reapply with a specific salary scale.
Okay.
Victor, listen, this one is very key. A person who was earning like 150,000, he has been told to reapply with 70,000. And imagine this person was, he had committed his salary either in loans and all those things, children were at school. He had committed this money, but they decided to force them to reapply in order to remain in SHA. From NHIF to SHA.
It's a violation of labor laws.
That one killed the morale of workers in SHA. And also, even as we speak now, when the way Mheshimiwa is supporting Duale, I have my investigator by profession. And this one is a profession like my friend there, professor. This one is a profession. I've taken my little time to dig into the problem in SHA. Right now, it is like a slow strike in SHA. Why? When Duale came in, he has decided to face off most of the directors, managers in SHA, and appointed, like now, he has appointed 6 new managers from his region.
Yeah.
6.
I couldn't have said it better.
Yeah. 6 from his region. Do you think it will give morale to those workers who have worked in the SHA for all that long period?
And it's unconstitutional.
That one is wrong. And it's bullying. You know why he was bullying? Because some of these questions maybe were touching to those people he has employed in SHA. So it became so difficult for him to respond, and instead he decided to be ruthless and
disrespectful.
Yes, to the House Committee, which was
let me say one thing. Let me say one thing very quickly. Just in what to add on what this team said here. I will start with Soshan. I've spent a number of years in Asia, Japan, Malaysia, Singapore, and Korea, China. And just a point of correction that we have both private and public health services in Malaysia. The public one is very good, affordable, and works for everyone. But there is the private one which provides faster services to the people. That's just a slight correction. Number 2 is that in this country, we need leaders who can make hard decisions. You know, minus all these issues that we're raising here, and of course the investigative, evidence that Ofula has given us here. I think it's important to first understand that if we do not have leaders who can make decisions, then Kenya will never move forward. Now, when you look at Duale, minus all these things that we're talking about, all these challenges that many of us carry, he's a man who can make hard decisions that can take us to the next level. It's only that he also needs to make sure that he walks on the right path to ensure that we get there faster. If we look back to the last previous CSs, you realize that most of them were not able to make the decisions that he's making today. Of course, outside the managers that we talked about, which is not a good thing, and I will not support that at the end of the day. But the thing that I believe, and we've said this several times, the way you see the President, William Ruto, making decisions that are very hard and that are very unpopular, is just because if we do not do that, we are going to oscillate around a cycle of being a country that is below the rest of those advanced countries out there. If we are to get to the level that we've been talking about in the next 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, then we must have leaders who are able to stand out there and make those unpopular decisions that are good for this country. Once you do that, whether you're going to be there for 5 years or 2 years, whether you send Duale home or not, if we clean the health system that has been full of cartels, and we know most of the billionaires we have in this country have been in this health sector. You know, we see what happened in 2020 and so on and so forth. Now, when you start checking the cartels, that is exactly what happens. And when you go to parliament, I'm not a parliamentarian, when you're put in a committee, you're put in a committee based on your profession. So it means, and I'm sorry, I'm just assuming this, it's an hypothesis, that most of the members who are in that health committee must also have a health background, must also be doing business in the health sector, which is not wrong. But they should not sit, on the pathway of making changes in this country just because they're affected. I think it's important to go on the other side and find exactly what is happening to all these people there. I'm not supporting anything around that, but the managers from the other side, those ones, I leave them to you and the chair of WASU, because I'm not privy to that kind of information.
I love the way you're concluding it so smoothly. Gentlemen, let's do this in under 10 minutes. Let's all agree. In under 10 minutes, the strike is entering its 27th day today, Daktari. And the other day, people were expecting to get a white smoke from Machakos County. That did not happen. The report I have here was not signed. Who are members of this committee who are missing?
Thank you, Victor.
And what is the hard nut to crack when it comes to this CBA?
You know, for me, the hard nut to crack is lack of government commitment and being faithful to agreements that have been signed. We negotiated this CBA. It's a 2017-2021 CBA.
Yes.
That's 8 years old CBA. And the government went to court when we signed this CBA. They went to court and said they were contesting the amounts. We went through the Employment and Labor Relations Court. Decisions were made. They were told pay in the interim as we continue talking. In the interim, pay these amounts, first tranche. Then later, decision was made that the total cost of the CBA was over 16 billion. After which, now, government was to pay the balance. Yeah. the government went to the Court of Appeal, got stay orders on implementation of the orders of the Employment Court and Labor Relations Court. Now, once they got the stay orders, they stayed away and waited. I don't know what they were doing. The dance that we are having now and the musical chairs we are having now, they did not take any action, so to speak. And the time lapsed. We went to court and said, asked the court that this matter should be decided. And the Court of Appeal said implement the decision of the Employment and Labor Relations Court, which was the 7.9 billion. The Attorney General writes to them and tells them, can you provide in your budget and pay that? The letters are there in the public domain. Now, the government never acted. So we declared the strike. We have been on the strike for, actually we are getting to, we started on the 17th of last month. Yes. So 17th is this week. So we'll be actually a whole month this week. Now, they went back to court, as usual, because the government goes to court to block. They tried to block the strike, and they pleaded with the court that we should get time. In fact, what we did in Machakos was their proposal.
The government's proposal? Yes,
that let's go to the court that we want a time to go and reconcile the figures. That's the one. You can see it is signed by 9 people. 103 people that were representing the government did not sign. Because I thought...
Who did not sign the report?
There are 3 people. I can't say the name. One of them, they were colleagues. There's a principal, Turkana University. There is also one of them is the Vice Chancellor, Machakos University. There were 3. And also the Vice Chancellor of Meru University, Romanos. Yeah. Those 3, in fact, Romanos was not in the room.
Just hold on that thought. So, Sion, you've been in this sector for far too long. We all remember the Sosion holiday.
And I remember I helped to unlock and reconcile the conflict within the universities.
Does it really worry you that we have to be so fair to the first years who are to start the education, and now there's a deadlock, there's no white smoke from Machakos?
And I wish to say there is a very serious problem in how CBAs are handled by the universities. After agreement and how it is implemented, you must always have issues of non-compliance. I don't remember a CBA that has not brought disputes in this country. And I thought at that time, that was around 2014, when we unlocked a stalemate and we sanitized the process that they had. I think our universities, the problem here is with the employers, not government. It is the universities. Because I heard you say at some point, money was wired to the universities to service CBAs, but it was not declared.
Yeah.
You know, it sounds very strange and ridiculous. And I think for this country, to me, on the interim basis, all payrolls for universities should be recalled and centralized at the National Treasury so that they are paid directly as per the agreement. On the interim basis, as universities are put on proper systems of paying the right money. You know, we are in 2025, and now the arguments we have is the mathematics of implementing a CBO of 2017, 2021. A matter I disposed of in 2016 for teachers is gone, it's finished. And that's quite unfortunate because we are not talking about a new dispute. We've not talked about the CBA 2021-2025. We've not talked about the CBA 2025-2029. Teachers are already, and civil servants, they're already done with the CBA of 2025-2029.
Okay.
So I think for the universities, this one requires very, very serious direct intervention by the National Treasury so that the right mathematics are done and probably that payroll is centralized for the time being as the universities are assisted to put in place systems that work.
Donate your,
that is number one. Number two,
to to both Prof and
This
Wafula.
stalemate must be unlocked.
Thank you.
And I think the CS and all the people at the ministry stop doing other things and address this matter of the university until it's dispensed.
Thank you, thank you. Because I only have 2 minutes to go. Wafula, when you listen to the whole of this, there must be some white smoke at the end of the day, and students must go back to school.
Yeah.
Lecturers are saying they need their 7.9 billion shillings. What would be the outcome?
I think what Mheshimiwa Sosiona said, I just want to echo with him, because it means that the ministry has failed in a way. That means that when this money is dispersed through the ministry reallocate the same money to somewhere else. That is a major problem, I think. Now, to solve this problem, the treasury, the way Mheshimiwa Sosiona, and this one I support you fully, Mheshimiwa, but on the other side of Dwalino. This one, Mheshimiwa Sosiona,
that's a choice.
And actually, with that one, we'll solve this problem of that CBA one and whatever since 2017. And you know, now the fingers are going to the current president when this thing was supposed to be started implementation from 2017 to 2022. So,
the court made a decision last year.
Of course, now the court has made a decision.
Actually, early this year.
And you know, right now it is like a competition. When we were discussing with Mheshimiwa Sosiona down there behind the camera and Prof here, Sosiona said that ours took 36 days. Now yours has taken 30 days. So you want to surpass? Children are suffering.
To break a record.
I don't think you'll break Sosiona's record.
No.
Students are suffering.
Unions.
This country is good for dialogue.
Government must
I want us to do this.
We embrace the dialogue.
Unions must at all time try to avoid strikes. You avoid. Okay. Try to avert as much as possible.
Let's take a quick break. Let's take a quick break. It's 8 sharp. And when they come back, I'll give you a minute to issue that to finalize. Prof, you hosted the president at Konza. You were like an ADC to the president. We need to be close to him. We need to know him more. Let's take a break. He might help us to solve the
new silicon.
Let's take a break. We'll be right back. Yeah. Go ahead, Prof. You think the problem? Go ahead.
No,
welcome back. Welcome back.
Just listening to my fellow panelists here, and I have a number of observations that I want to make. Number one is that university faculty members and staff in Kenya are not some of the worst paid globally, which is quite unfortunate. The university that you are establishing in Konza, the Kenya Advanced Institute of Science and Technology, which is of course housed in a different ministry, is proposing a different set of salaries to the staff and to faculty members. And so I think it's important, if we are to make our education system competitive, it is important to remunerate our faculty members and university staff to the best levels possible. These are the guys who are going to drive Kenya's industrial development, that dream that we have for this country. Now, back to what the team said. It's important that the government should listen to the universities. And the universities should also listen to the government. I think the threats that we see flying everywhere is not something that we want to see. Now, there was a court ruling that, of course, did put figures, and figures don't lie. If figures are there and they have been agreed upon, I don't think we should go back and start discussing figures. Initially, 16 billion, 50% paid, around 8 billion not paid. Now I see SRC saying that no, it is not 8 billion or 7-point-something billion shillings. It's less than a billion shillings. You see now that confusion that we create after going through a process of negotiation and agreeing is something that paints a very bad picture, as a government and of course as leaders in this country. And therefore for me I would say that it is important, one, for WASU and the government and the universities. I'm a chair of a university council. So we understand all these things. To come to the table and first agree on the fact that the amount that was agreed upon is this much. Now, once you agree on that, and let us not go back to the 400 million shillings or 600 million shillings that is being discussed by SRC. Let us go back to the figures that were agreed upon. Let us agree on now that figure is going to be disbursed to universities to cater for what is rightfully theirs. Because President Ruto has been very keen in pushing to ensure that universities, university staff, faculty members are properly remunerated. And he did say that he wants to clear with this CBA before we move to the next CBA. And to me that is important if we are to stabilize our higher education system in this country. If we fail to do that, and if we prolong this strike, and misunderstanding, disagreements, like Soshoni said, we don't want to take that days. We are universities. We are learned people. We know what is supposed to be done. The government has the facts. They know what needs to be done. Let them come to the table, say that, we have this, we don't have all this money, we are going to give you this for the time being, the rest will be paid within these timelines. So that at least we can take our system of education to a better level. And of course to also contribute to the agenda that we have on the table for this country. If we don't do that, then the discussion that we're having here and the discussion that the government is having and the agenda that the President of Kenya has for our people will not be realized. If we are now to push the agenda forward, I would go back to what the President said, that having been a Minister of Education and having been keen in stabilizing the education sector, he would be happy to have this cleared so that we can move the follow-up sort of CBS to the next level. And finally, I did start by saying that, having taught in a number of universities globally, I feel, embarrassed sometimes. We're just reviewing the salaries of our faculty members the other day, trying to benchmark and see where to place ours. And you see, a professor getting less than 250,000 shillings, whereas a junior faculty member in the University of Tokyo, where I started my career, I was being paid 600,000 shillings a month. You see, that is what makes countries prosper. That is what makes universities produce research that inform development, because they are well remunerated and they are well motivated and they are well taken care of. If you are not taken care of course, you start looking for opportunities outside. You start looking for consultancy services so that we make some more money to keep moving. This world is very competitive, and that is why you see the health sector. Everybody wants to be part of the health sector because you can make more money by doing tenders out there. You become a tenderpreneur instead of becoming the most learned, educated person in this country, a professor who at the end of the day will get this much. And then when you go to the village, you realize that the poorest man in the village, unlike when it used before, when a primary school teacher was the richest, had a bicycle and a big house. Now when you go to the village, the poorest man is a professor of a university, like the University of Nairobi. That is embarrassing.
It doesn't
to me.
motivate.
Very true.
Daktari, before I come to you, Sosion, the ministry disowned claims that 7.7 billion shillings was is owed to lecturers under the 2017-2021 CBA, and it has also following an audit report. And PS said there must be some report given to the government to show that the money has been paid.
You see, when someone wants to move goalposts from one place to another, she told us on Wednesday, during when we handed our petition to her, that whatever is decided in Machakos, they will pay. Now, they were part of the committee, the technical committee, and they arrived at the same figure, 7.9. Why should the PS now start saying something else? Oh, it had been paid. How would it have been paid when the payments were made in 2021 and this CBA is 2017-2021? Salaries from there on. Yes. And the payments were based on the previous CBA, 2013-2017. I mean, how could they have worked it out before the CBA was signed? And they were already still in court. These are tactics to delaying tactics. But the earlier they make this decision, the better. Government actually should listen to unions. The 7.9 billion was verified in Machakos. Let the court make the decision. They should stop using SRC
Allow me to ask
and other
you this.
institutions.
Is there any money that this current government has paid to the university and workers?
On the same CBA?
Yes.
Not that I know of. Unless the ministry demonstrates that this money was given to them. You see, Mr. Honorable Sosion has said something. The problem is these vice chancellors, if they don't even declare what they have received from Exchequer. Now, if they must demonstrate to us that actually this money was paid and paid the CBA, but they cannot provide that because they don't have it. But we call upon the president. Let me finish this.
We've gotten the point.
Yeah.
We've gotten the point. So it's not even about the government. So what do you have to say?
Yeah.
It's the vice chancellor.
And they're the ones who are negotiating with us.
We said the ministry.
It is wrong.
Has a problem.
It's the ministry. You know, they work for the ministry. Now the ministry is sending threats through the vice chancellors to threaten workers to go back to work under these conditions. After a whole month, they're figuring out that they want now to discipline workers.
The problem is in the
ministry. Inefficiency. The ministry is inefficient, and they need to correct themselves. Or the president should crack the whip. He has given these people mandate to run the most important sector in our country, in our economy, and they are not caring about it. So we should be out of our students are suffering. They're suffering across the country.
If we are unable to get some little knowledge through consultation to resolve a problem on payroll of our university workers, how then do you expect universities to generate new knowledge to promote innovation and advancement of this country? It doesn't work that way. We cannot bride over having prolonged strikes so that we look like heroes. It is very destructive. And any union and any employer must both struggle to avert a crisis of this nature. This is my proposal. The cabinet secretary responsible for labor, when a strike is called, fully takes charge. So Dr. Alfred Mutua, the cabinet secretary for labor, should step in and take over the dispute fully, assisted by the cabinet secretary for education, and suspend everything else that they're doing and focus on this matter. We cannot leave it to the fate of the courts. The courts are only there to guide and give direction.
Open another lead that we didn't see.
And once they do that, they must have a time limit on which to clear the stalemate. The parties involved should also avoid grandstanding and threats from any direction and move to the table in good faith. And agree on a lasting solution. That is how labor disputes are unlocked. You don't deepen a crisis step by step, deep into it. Yes, you get down to unlocking the stalemate. So this, if it is supposed to end in the next 24 hours, it will. It will. If there is leadership.
We need to leave.
So Dr. Alfred Mutua, take charge.
We need to leave. Thank you. The president was in Konza yesterday. Was it on Monday?
No, on Monday.
On Monday.
Yep.
What was happening in Konza?
He was launching the horizontal infrastructure. You know, we have done a lot of stuff down there with support from Italy, Korea, China, and the United States. We have now done the horizontal development. We have all the street lights there, lighting. We have some of the best, systems in Konza at the moment.
Yes.
We did launch the solid waste management, state of the art. We also did commission affordable housing, project, 1,000, which will grow to 10,000. Now Konza is taking shape. It's actually it's going to become one of the leading smart cities in the continent. And in December, the president did commit to come back again there for the new university. So that, of course, he awards the charter. And then we start now doing what universities do, offering, not fighting, but offering programs that will take the country to the next level. And it's important.
Their salaries are better.
It's important to note that. And I like that, We are going to make sure that that happens. We are fighting, by the way, to make sure that we get the best. Because if we don't get the best, what Soshona said, we will not be able to produce that knowledge that we require to build our knowledge-based economy. So in December, I'll be inviting all of you guys to come and witness that special moment and work together in driving the economy, our economy to the next level. And finally, at the end of the day, we've talked about all these things. The government of Kenya means well for the people. Those few elements that are not doing their best should be pushed to make sure that happens. Let us bring WASO on the table. Let us bring the CS on the table. Let us negotiate and resolve this as soon as possible. And the president should give an ultimatum of 24 hours. By tomorrow morning, tomorrow, you know, kazi
give an ultimatum for payment.
The gentleman who has just spoken is Professor Emmanuel Mutisia, educationist. He's also professor and chair of KBC University. Thank you so much. You host the president on Monday at Konza. Wilson Sosion, former NAT secretary and lawmaker nominated. Asante sana. Daktari, Ambassador, thank you so much. We just hope that this is going to be ended. Ofula,
one word.
Asante.
One word.
No, we are done. When you hear that, thank you so much for joining us.